So welcome back. So I just want to kind of run over what we actually did for this series before we move on to the next one. Well, we made a one-tier application. And one-tier application just means we can put this on any machine we want to. It's not that easy to separate the concerns or anything in it because we kind of bound these guys closely together. So they are living in the same on the same machine. That's the goal of it right now. But we still have the entire setup that we want to do. So if we want to make a call here, like I showed you so far, if I just pick red here, no, let's take this dark red here. So we go from the browser and we say, I want something from the back end. I want to either put something in there, I want to get something out of there. Then the call will go to the controllers, right? The controller gets some kind of call in the MVC application. That's passed on down through the facade into our manager down here, right? The manager contacts the context down here like this. The contact contacts the database down here like this. Everything is fine, and now we get some replies back. We get some kind of response. So instead of, whoa, sorry about that. So we will go back and actually get a reply back. Is the green here? He replies some information. That's replied back to the manager. That's replied back through the facade. Replied back through the MVC here. Back over the browser or over the net somehow, and then into the browser to present the data, right? That's the way we work right now. It's a one-layered application. All the parts of information is in this single tier. Now for the next series that I'm going to do, we're going to talk about a REST API. So we're going to pull out some of this information into another tier. So let me just try and show you this as well. So right now we're doing it this way, but we're going to have another connection over the internet. That's the second tier. So let's start out by just making another tier here. This is going to be tier 2. And tier 2 is going to be what we call a REST API, or a web API is what they use in the .NET framework. So that's the goal of the next lessons here, or the next series. Just kind of a teaser here to let you guys know what's coming up. Tier 2, let's just do it with 14, both of them. So we're going to build this tier 2, right? So now we have a two-tiered application. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we want to, instead of actually calling directly in one tier here, we want to expose all our data to anybody who has access to the internet, right? Right now we're kind of bound together to this single web application, the MVC application right here. That's the one who communicates directly down to the database, right? So it's only one application right now. But what if we wanted to add a phone application instead, or I don't know, anything? If we wanted to add another type of application. I'll recap this in the next video, but what I want to do is I want to cut this, I want to change this a bit. So I'm going to grab all of this layer 2 stuff, and I'm going to grab it from here and throw it over here. And then I'm going to here add what we call a proxy layer instead. I haven't found the right name yet. I think I'll figure something out before we meet again. But we're going to make some kind of proxy setup that can pull the data from over here, and in the other end we're going to build a web API. So I'm going to say web API here, which is going to be a way for anybody, not only the MVC project, but anybody who has access to this web API can actually now start getting data from the database. So we've kind of made this, I'm just going to show you here, we've kind of made this into another cool process here, because now when I make the call, I'll go through the proxy will go over the wire, it'll go to the web API, which will then communicate all the way, and when it's done, it'll communicate all the way back over the wire, here, 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 here. So it seems there's another step in here. Now that looks bad, right? But that's actually good, because it means that not only can we build a browser now, we could also make a phone app. So let's say that I made a third tier here. This would be tier 3. Or it could be a phone application, it could be anything. Now the cool thing is that this phone application, when we're done with the next lessons, we can actually make some kind of phone application in the middle here that does exactly the same like the web application, right? So it could say, I want to get some information. Okay, then send a request. I'll do that to the net. That'll send it in here, down there, all the way back up, right? And then you'll get a reply, boink, and all the way up here, doink. Then you're done. So from the outside, if I just try to map this here, from the outside, all of this is its own tier that anybody, if it's a phone app, it's a web application, it's an application, doesn't matter, anybody who has the access rights can now communicate with our database. This is what we call a REST API. This is something that is very, very used in the internet business now, and any place where you start working across the wire, you have some kind of REST API. That makes sense, at least. It's not everywhere, but I expect it to be soon. So that's what I want to show you in the next series. And for this series, we are over and out. You guys know now how to make the first setup that I showed you in the beginning of the lesson. So see you in the next series, where we're going to try and work with the Web API and ASP.NET. See you next time.